Hey everybody, this is the first video that I'm shooting in Portugal for this trip. We're in Porto, and one of the first things you got to do when you get to Porto is find a place to park your car. So we're just going to feature the parallel parking job here. So you'll see there is a black Jeep behind me. Porto has a lot of places that are either paid parking or free parking. It really pays to take a minute and figure out where you can park. This is paid parking, but it's quite a cheap place. It's about €1 for 2 hours. So here we go. We've started. The first place we stop, of course, is right along the Douro Rio, and we're heading to a neighborhood called Ribeira. I'll try that again. We're heading to a region known as Ribeira, and it's a little part of Porto that's right nestled down in to the river. We've been there before, you've seen it before, but every trip's a little bit different. Here you can see across the river to the town of Gaia. As you know by now, it's where they store all the port wine to age. And we'll do a little bit of a unit on it later, but around that corner is where we're staying, on the mouth of the Douro along the beach. We'll do a little bit about that later on. Okay, so we're just walking in to the Ribeira, and there is just some lovely Porto-ness behind us. I'll just do a little bit of that. It is a bit loud here, but still a nice walk. I've probably taken this shot 100 times, but we've just got quite a lot closer to the Ribeira section of Porto, and it's just remarkable. As you go around different corners, just things pop up. And so up there you can see a lot of ecclesiastic buildings. There's the Grand Cathedral, which we'll go to tomorrow. We're going to go in tomorrow. And then this is the famous McDonald's of Porto. And there'll be little narrow streets that take us down to the riverside. And of course, across is Gaia. We'll be taking that same boat tour that we've taken twice tomorrow.
Mira, cámara atrás mía, mira dónde está, allá arriba. Ya, pero le voy a hacer la foto.
I'm just gonna walk past. Behind me is the center point of the Ribeira. Hustle and bustle, loads of tourists and locals having a stack on the river. All kinds of music, different types of performers. There's even an accordion player. And we've shown you this a million times, but it's so amazing to be here. And this boardwalk continues for a couple of more bridges. And along the way there are taxis, tuk-tuks, trams, and trains to help folks get back and forth across the river and up and down along the river. There's even a funicular. Anyway, I think we're gonna have a look around for a snack and a drink. It's the time of day in Portugal where it's normally not that easy to get food because it's between the hours of 3 and 7. Usually, most places, restaurants are going to be closed. But Porto is a happening tourist destination, so there's always a place to find a snack.
Na Ambev, vai trabalhar na Ambev.
Foi ela que levantou isso.
You could easily get yourself turned around of an evening around these parts. So hey everybody, we're at a little cafe on the walkway, kind of like a boardwalk, except there's no boards, along the Ribeira in Porto, and we're going to have some sangria, a mix of the house, which is just a bunch of different savory things and different kinds of pastry. And I'm going to have a francesinha, which is a speciality of Porto, where you can really only get it around here. It's a crazy dish that's so crazy I can't remember what's in it, but after I eat it I'll be able to tell you. Anyway, it's lovely. We're up at the second level of the boardwalk, and you can see a nice little restaurant up there, and then down here there's all the little kiosks for the market, which runs up and down the river. And this restaurant maybe has 12 tables, which is very nice. So those boys,
I would like to know if there was any evaluation of how deep that water was before they did that.
those boys are standing on the edge of a bridge and are going to be jumping in. Hopefully I'll be able to capture some of the jumping. And he goes. In they go. My francesinha has shown up, and I'm going to show it to you and tell you what's in it. We also got some patatas fritas and a mix of different things. We've eaten quite a lot of it already because we couldn't wait, but here's what we've got. So that is the francesinha, and the francesinha is like a sandwich, but it's got bread, ham, linguica sausage, steak, some roast beef, cheese, spiced tomato sauce, and a beer sauce, all in that one tasty little meal. It's insane. It's terrific, I just want to say. And you can find it in other places in Portugal, but it's definitely a specialty of Porto. And of course we're having our patatas fritas, and here we have a lovely dumpling. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have a lovely dumpling. We've eaten the dumplings. What we have is a croquette that's filled with bacalhau, and a rizzle, that is filled with shrimp and a lovely cheese sauce. It's all been terrific, by the way, and I'll let you know where we are in a little bit, so you can come here too. And here is where we have eaten, in case you'd like to try to find it yourself. And their specialty, of course, is the francesinha. It's probably a good time to tell you that it's true that food is very reasonable in Portugal and in Porto. Nothing is cheaper than going to a supermercado or a grocery store, which is absolutely mind-blowingly inexpensive. But restaurants are also quite inexpensive, so we've had quite a lot of sangria, 2 entrees, some appetizers, and a lovely time, and I think it was about 40 euro. And this is probably going to be the most expensive area in Porto because it's right along the river. And these are meant for tourists, designed for tourists, so they're going to get a premium, but still worth every bite. It was very good, and the staff was very friendly and helpful, and tolerated our terrible Portuguese. So that's usually what happens in this area, and so we want to make a special recommendation for franganito. Here we are on one of the many bridges of Porto. This is the lower deck of a bridge we've been on many times. That's close to the cathedral and Salvento on top, and then down where we are right now, Ribeira. Well, we've crossed the river on the bridge, one of the many bridges, and now we can show you the view of Porto from Gaia. Again, Gaia is where all the port is stored in the caves. There's a loveliness on both sides of the river, by the way. You'll see more of that on another day, but for now, here's a view of Porto from Gaia. Behind me, you can see some of the old ships that would have carried the casks of port from the wine country to the east to Gaia at the mouth of the Douro for aging. Some liveliness here in the market area. But here's what it's like in the front. Well, that was the lovely afternoon down by the Ribeira in Porto. We had quite a long walk and saw a lot of things, but we think it's probably wise to take a break right now. So we're going to take a break right now and do a little bit of walking around Foz do Douro, which is the beachside part of Porto. So this is our first little tour video. Stay tuned for more mini trips around Porto and the rest of Portugal.